Karla and Ray Porter are the envy of their suburban neighbors.
She never wanted for money, ever. I mean, she had money all the time.
It did seem like they had a nice lifestyle.
When that lifestyle is threatened, domestic bliss turns bad.
This is a power of attorney.
I think that he entrusted Carla to make the right decisions and not basically piss away their retirement.
You're a liar, like your whole family.
I gathered that they didn't get along all the time, and he certainly was not somebody who was going to back down.
That's when the whole thing blew open.
And when the two stand divided, one will fall.
The fortune that he had thought he built was no longer there.
Love may be blind and marriage bliss, but divorce is murder. In the early 1990s, a nice young couple named Karla and Ray Porter have just bought their first home together in a pleasant suburban neighborhood 18 miles northeast of Baltimore.
Well, they moved in next door to me, and one day she came over. She knocked on my door.
Hi, I'm Karla. I'm your new neighbor.
She was very friendly. She was always making cookies and candy and stuff and bringing it over. We became close friends.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you.
Karla's husband, Ray, is just as well received as a neighbor.
Ray was a really wonderful person. He'd do anything for anyone, too. Very, very friendly. Everybody really liked him. And he was very neat and meticulous about himself and his home. He wanted everything to be perfect.
For a couple of years, Karla stays home to care for their young son, Kyle. And then, a few years later, their newborn daughter, Megan.
The kids had everything anyone could want for, and they were very well taken care of and never needed anything or wanted for it.
Ray had a successful remodeling business and had a couple of guys that worked for him. I would define him as if you looked in the dictionary and looked up a good guy, his picture would be beside it. Ray was just a good guy.
Ray also owns several residential properties in the greater Baltimore area.
He had at least 20 rental properties.
It was good for him. He could fix them up. If anything went wrong, it was pretty much he knew what he was doing, and he could fix any problem that they had. He could pretty much fix anything.
After 9 years of marriage, when the kids are old enough and Karla's ready to go back to work, Ray opens a gas station on East Joppa Road, just 4 miles from the house.
I worked for a convenience store wholesaler, so we would sell them cigarettes, candy, juice, gum, and I would stop every Monday morning to see them, to see what they might need for that upcoming week.
Morning, Ray. How you doing?
Hey, good, thanks.
The main thing that Karla did for a living was to work at the gas station. She spent a lot of hours there.
Good morning, Carla. How are you?
I got those checks for you.
Oh, very good.
It was Karla's responsibility to pay all the bills at the gas station, to keep their business rolls, accurate.
Hey.
Hey,
It doesn't take long for the couple to fall into a routine.
how's it going?
Good.
Ray would normally open the gas station at 5 a.m., and then Karla would come in about 6:45 or 7 o'clock and bring them breakfast, and they would have breakfast together.
After breakfast, Ray leaves to attend to his other money-making ventures. Karla spends the morning at the station taking care of the books.
Well, she worked from like 7 o'clock till 12:30 every day.
And then they would have a part-time helper come in, and she would get to go home. It's a hell out of 14-hour days.
Back at home, Karla takes care of the administration of the rental properties, including processing checks from tenants. The couple accumulates modest wealth over the years. and Ray is able to indulge his one true passion, hot rods.
I knew Karla and Ray Porter from they brought their car into our hot rod garage to get it restored.
He was an extremist when it came to his vehicles. He wanted to have the best.
These parts.
And that's what kind of cars I like to build. So our relationship really, we hit it off really good right from Jump Street.
He was the type of person that wanted to know the progress on his car. He would come in every day to see what Mike was doing, what he got finished on his car.
Okay, but I got this truck, and I got to think big with it.
Well, big is good, but big costs big bucks.
Yeah, my wife will take care of it. I mean, she takes care of the money, I just make it.
Karla handled all the money. He would just say, you need to contact Karla. You need to talk to her. I have no clue. I don't want to know anything about that. Just, call her and tell her what you need. Instead of just paying the bill, she would tell me about her whole entire day. She talked about her daughter, Megan, a lot, and Kyle, how proud, she was of her children and different things that they were doing, what kind of traffic she hit on the way there, what time she had to get up in the morning, if she had to run out and do this or do that. I mean, she was kind of I would say a breath of fresh air to me because she was so full of energy and she would just have so much to say that I just kind of got to sit there and relax and think of how unhectic my day was and how crazy hers was.
In her little tutu with her little
I had to block out like a whole entire hour of my day because she was a talker.
Oh, that reminds me. I have the check for you.
We became friends, and I would see Karla a lot. I would see her at least twice a month, and I would see Ray almost every day.
Ray doesn't just collect hot rods, he shows them off, and Karla's always by his side.
Ray and Karla were entrenched in the car show scene. Karla and Ray were always together at the car shows. You never seen one without the other. And probably out of the 50 car shows I went to them with, probably 90% of the time, 95% of the time, she was there.
She would bring us cookies to the car shows. Everybody loved Karla's cooking. Her cooking was awesome.
She was a great cook, and she was an even better baker. And she had these chocolate chip cookies that were just ridiculous. They were so good.
My kids actually looked forward to them every year. It was Karla's gonna make the cookies for the car show.
She's very motherly, is a good way to put it.
Smells good.
He would get home every day around the same time, 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And if she was at my house or anywhere out in the yard, she would be like, I have to get in there and get Ray's dinner on the table.
Good.
I'll be right down.
Be ready in 5.
She would pick his clothes out, She would take care of him. I mean, other than probably brushing his teeth, she probably did it all for him, as far as shoes, shirt, socks, attire. She was a very hands-on wife/mother, and she was very protective of the people that she loved.
Karla and Ray seem to make a perfect partnership.
Pretty husbandy wifey, I mean, there was teasing and kidding going on. Never seemed to be an inkling that there was any kind of tension between those two.
Psychotherapist Stacy Kaiser and forensic psychologist Brian Russell see a couple standing on a solid foundation, but there could be cracks.
When I look at Karla and Ray, in a lot of ways, this couple is like the perfect team. It really seems like they support each other in every way. They are advocates for him working and her doing the things that she does. And that kind of support is something that everyone needs in a spouse.
At the same time, though, 24/7, 365 is a lot of time to spend with anybody, even a spouse. When people look really perfect on the outside, I think the chances are usually higher that some of it is a facade. There really is no such thing as the perfect family.
For Ray, it's Karla's relationship with her huge extended family that's less than perfect. She has 13 siblings and half-siblings, and she's particularly close to 2 sisters, a brother, and a nephew.
There were a lot of kids in Karla's family, a lot of siblings.
All of her sisters never had any money. They never had much of anything. She had more than any of them.
Carla loves to spend time with them, but Ray, not so much.
Ray never did talk about her family much, but I do remember him telling me one time they were white trash.
In fact, Ray would like to create more distance between them.
So I was looking at this place in Florida, like it's perfect for a collection, and the weather, it's summer. Take a look.
He had purchased a truck, and it was an extremely rare truck, and he had mega plans for it. He had mentioned that this was his final build, that he wasn't going to be building anything else.
She's a beauty.
She will be after you get done with her. I'm retiring after this. That's my baby.
Like, he was ready. He's ready to roll. He wanted to move to Florida.
Ray was maybe getting a little tired, that I think they may have had enough money socked away that if they sold some apartments, they sold their gas station, they'd be pretty much set up for the rest of their life, and he wanted to move somewhere warmer.
The problem is, Carla doesn't want to leave her family, but that won't stop Ray.
He mentioned to me a couple times, I'll just leave her here.
Ray and Karla Porter run a gas station together in Towson, Maryland. After 15 years of marriage, Ray is ready to sell the gas station and retire to Florida. But Carla just wants to stay put.
She didn't want to move to Florida. She didn't want to leave her family.
Everybody was up here in the Baltimore area. She didn't want to go to Florida, and Ray clearly did.
He mentioned to me a couple times, I'll just leave her here. I think it was tongue-in-cheek, I don't think that he would have ever moved without her. They were partners. They were partners.
Partners or not, Ray decides to set his retirement plan in motion and puts the gas station on the market.
They were trying to sell the gas station. They constantly got calls on it, and sometimes the deals didn't go through.
Hello?
Carla does what she can to make sure of that.
You must have made a mistake. This gas station is not for sale. That's okay. Bye.
This is the first time that we are actually seeing conflict between Carla and Ray. And if it's true that everything has really been harmonious between them, this is going to be a real problem for them because they don't know how to resolve conflict.
I think we're seeing Carla and Ray wrestling with a problem that's actually quite common among the generation of Americans who are getting close to retirement, which is having some disagreement about how they're going to spend their golden years together. In any case, when one person is making decisions about the couple's future and assets, that's a problem.
Carla and Ray are in a power struggle. And what happens when couples are in a power struggle is each of them wants to win. Either they're going to come together and figure out a way to win as a team, or they're going to break apart and try to beat each other independently.
And with the team breaking apart, Carla's going rogue with the couple's finances.
Ray wasn't looking over Carla's shoulder, and she certainly had access to all the books in the company, not just in the gas station, but in some of his other businesses as well. So if she wanted to do anything financial, it wasn't a problem.
She forged his signature to a power of attorney, had it notarized by somebody, and then used that to sell one of the properties for a value that seemed to be much less than it was actually worth. Ray Porter had no idea that had happened.
Carla confides in her neighbor, Betty.
I understand that she was using her money for taking care of her sister, Bobby.
Bobby has fallen seriously ill. She's immobile and lives in a hospice. The cost is staggeringly high.
I really hope you're feeling better.
She had talked about her sister being sick and being bedridden and stuff like that. She had to be under care like 24/7.
Ray doesn't know the extent to which Carla's bankrolling her sister's care.
I think that he thought that there was a certain amount of money being spent. I don't think he knew exactly what was being spent. He would make comments like, Josh, I'm supporting the whole goddamn family. He would say that,
Still, Ray continues to rely on her financial judgment.
I think that he and trusted Carla to make the right decisions and not basically piss away their retirement on, on her family.
Carla believes Ray is better left in the dark.
When she approached me, first it was like, Betty, can you get my mail today?
You know, I've noticed that Ray's been a little stressed lately, and I thought, it might really help if he didn't see any of the bills and all the stuff that's coming in, because, stuff's a little scary sometimes.
All right, honey. Anything for you.
And I said, yeah. Then all of a sudden, it became every day. And it got to the point where the mailman was leaving it at my house. She'd come by my house some days on the way home, check on her mail. She'd go through it and leave the rest there. I said, why am I getting your mail all this time? Why don't you want your husband to know it? And she said, I just don't. You don't know how he is. He'll get mad if he sees stuff that I bought. And if he sees the bills, he'll get mad at me about it.
Hi. Thanks so much. Look, I got a little something for you.
Betty goes along with this for one simple reason.
She was very giving and always buying me something.
Carla, honey, this is all too much.
Look, you've been through so much trouble for me. It's the least I can do.
It's like she couldn't do enough for me all the time.
The general rule is, with the exception maybe of surprise birthday parties, you don't ever want to participate in one spouse's deception of the other.
Betty is collecting the mail so that Ray doesn't see it. And she's doing it as a favor to Carla. But there's another component here. What is it about Carla that she seems to be able to convince someone to do something that's wrong? And what else is she capable of?
Carla kicks it up an entire notch to a whole new level of deceit when she starts forging stuff. If that's true, then that's a crime.
We have Ray plotting to sell the gas station and move to Florida. Doesn't matter what she thinks. And we have Carla building these bonds with her family, siphoning off the family money towards them, making sneaky decisions with her neighbor. When I look at this couple, I see this as a couple who's headed towards divorce.
By 2008, the Porter's gas station is still up for sale. And there are signs Carla and Ray could really use the money.
Sometimes she would pay in cash, but a lot of times she paid with a check.
Hey, Michelle. What did you want to see me about?
Carla, there's a problem. And I would get a call from the bank within a couple of days or a letter saying that the check had bounced.
I don't want to leave you empty-handed, so,
And she would plead with me, please don't tell Ray. So I never said anything to Ray.
So we started to get bounce checks. And I said, okay. I said, no problem. As long as I get paid, I don't care where you guys get it from. But they were a little concerning to me because I'm like, he thinks he's got like $500,000 in the bank. Why are checks bouncing?
Being in that type of business where you're dealing mostly with men, and some men tell their wives how much their project is costing, and some men don't. I'm never sure what I should say to who and when. So I knew with Carla and Ray that Carla was the money part, and Ray didn't want to talk about it.
But their cigarette supplier does say something when the problem escalates.
When I told Carla that she had bounced a check, she said, oh, it'll go through the second time, but don't tell Ray. He'll get upset. So don't tell Ray. Finally, after about 6 times of this, the accounting department said, we have to do something, we can't just let this keep going on. And that's when I had to approach Ray with the fact that the checks were bouncing.
Hey.
Hi, Ray.
And I discussed it with Ray.
I think we have a little problem here, Ray.
Problem?
And he was really shocked that it would even happen. He said, that's impossible. There's a certain amount of so many thousands of dollars in that account that it's impossible that check can be bouncing. I said, well, Ray, it is happening. And I don't know why it's happening, but we need to take care of it.
Hey, what's up?
Tom came by today.
Okay.
What's this?
When Ray confronts Carla, she blames the bank.
You know, there's a new guy working at the bank, and
There was a problem at the bank that the teller screwed up their deposit, and they were having an issue with the bank.
I bet they're skimming off the top.
Ray believes her, and he files suit against the bank.
Seriously?
I'll take care of it.
I know they had hired a lawyer to take care of that.
By this time, Betty has been collecting Carla's mail for several years, and she decides enough is enough.
My husband would say, there's got to be a reason she wants you getting her mail. And it was really getting to me, because some days I would have bags and bags of mail in my house. So I just stopped it.
Hey.
I can't do this anymore, Carla.
You have to. You can't stop now. I need you.
And I said, whatever, Carla, I don't want to get in trouble for anything, because that's government property, that's private stuff, and I shouldn't be doing this. She was very rude to me. She changed from night to day, just opposite what she was before.
What about all the gifts I gave you?
It's the end of the two women's friendship. In the coming weeks, Carla rushes home to try to grab the mail before her husband does. But it's only a matter of time before Ray beats her to the mailbox.
That's when the whole thing blew open.
The fortune that he had thought he built was no longer there.
Karla and Ray Porter have been married for more than 20 years, and to friends, they seem happy. Until Ray gets his first inkling that his wife may be stealing from him to help her sick sister, and going to great lengths to cover her tracks.
I'm surmising that he was getting a lot of the mail because she didn't have no one to get it.
Carla was concerned that Ray had found some tax papers.
Do you know what this is? This is a power of attorney. Do you understand what this is?
Yes, I do.
Look at this. This is not my signature. Did you do this?
Yes, I did.
You did it. Why did you do this?
I had things that I needed to sign and you weren't available.
Carla, busy. $25,000 got out of the bank. Why?
I truly believe that he saw where there was definitely something going down in his accounts. That he confronted her and she couldn't wiggle out of what happened to it, to his money. And that he actually did get some things one day, and that's when the whole thing blew open.
Ray has to feel completely sideswiped. He didn't see this coming at all. He's gonna be in that state of mind where he's wondering, what else don't I know? What other secrets have there been? What else is she hiding from me? And that could put him in a state of panic.
I think it's easy to look at Ray and Carla at this stage and think that Ray must have been just completely taken by surprise by finding out that Carla had been doing these things behind his back. However, I would bet that there was a pattern of denial in Ray and Carla's marriage for some period of time that were indicative of a problem with trust.
A deception like this could wreck any marriage. But one thing becomes apparent. Carla's trying harder than ever to keep her husband happy.
We were at a car show, and on Saturday morning, Carla had showed up with Ray. She had brought one tin of cookie for everybody else, and then there was a smaller tin for Ray.
No. Those are special for Ray. Here, have one of these. Those ones are soft and chewy. They're for old people.
Clearly, this has all taken a toll on Ray. He's showing signs of strain.
So the first inkling that there was anything wrong with him neurologically was he was actually driving in the city on a street that he drives every day of his life. He was actually going the opposite direction. Police see him, they pull him over. They say, you know, what are you doing? He's lethargic. He doesn't even know where he's at. He doesn't know his name. He can't produce his driver's license. He can't do anything.
Hi. I just took a wrong turn on Maple. I thought I was feeling a bit tired.
So they put him in the hospital and they start to run all these tests and stuff on him to find out what's wrong with him. So he's in there for 2 weeks. They can't find anything wrong with him.
Couldn't figure out why he was having the issues that he was having.
Then he comes home. He's home, I would say, probably for about a week or two. And then he is at one of his rental properties down in the city, and boom, he has a relapse. And the police call Carla. He's on the ground. Don't know how he got there.
Ray's dizzy spells persist for months, making him unsteady on his feet and accident-prone.
Ray broke his ankle when he was helping someone try and get their car unstuck from the ice.
Dizzy and on crutches, Ray's in no mood to respond to a burglar alarm at the gas station in the dead of night.
What? Ray, wake up.
What?
Somebody's robbing the gas station.
What?
Somebody's robbing the gas station.
That was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Ray then responded to the gas station.
Hello?
Hey.
I did the rounds twice. There's nothing here. I mean, the alarm didn't even go off.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
Stay there, I'll bring you an early breakfast, okay?
I got to the gas station approximately 6:25 the morning of March 1st, and Carla was already at the gas station, which seemed a little bit strange to me. She usually shows up 15, 20 minutes later.
Yeah, I'll,
During our conversation, Ray told me he'd been at the station since 3:30 that morning. But when he got to the station, he couldn't find anything wrong with the alarm and it wasn't going off. So he told me when the alarm company opened later in the morning, he would have to call them and have them come out and check the alarm. I left the station approximately 7:10.
I'll be right back.
It seems it was all a false alarm. Then, a half hour after Tom leaves, Baltimore County Police receive a frantic 911 call about a robbery attempt at the gas station.
911, what's your emergency?
You have to send someone quickly. My husband, he's been shot.
Well, the police arrived within minutes. There happened to be a canine officer who was passing nearby when the call came out.
This black guy, he just came in.
He saw Karla Porter appearing frantic right outside the gas station. He approached as quickly as he could to find Ray Porter bleeding on the floor inside the gas station.
As Ray is rushed to hospital, police ask a tearful Carla what she saw.
Police had her into headquarters and sat her down with a sketch artist. They spent hours, and she was giving incredibly graphic details.
He was, it was a black guy. He had a hoodie. 6 feet tall. He just came out of nowhere and he fired 2 shots and then took off.
That's what the police were looking for.
As Ray's life hangs in the balance, Baltimore County Police search for a man who fits Carla's description.
Karla Porter's actions started a literal dragnet around the Towson area of Baltimore County.
Everything I found out afterwards was a shock. I'm still shocked.
Ray Porter has been shot in cold blood. And Karla and Ray's friends and family are quick to rally in her time of need.
We heard he was rushed to shock trauma, and a lot of the neighbors went. I mean, they were consoling her, and she was saying, he's dying.
So I called Carla.
Hello?
And I said, oh my God, Carla, I am so sorry. And she was like,
It happened so fast. It happened right in front of me. I don't know if he's gonna be okay.
They hadn't pronounced him dead yet. She kept saying that over and over again. Maybe he'll make it through it, because he's strong, you know, strong-willed guy. Maybe he'll live through it. You know, maybe the gunshot, you know, the guy was a bad aim or something, and maybe, you know, he'll live.
But 48-year-old Ray Porter will not survive the day.
There was no recovering from the shot that was fired directly into his head. He was kept alive for a period of time for decisions to be made concerning whether or not to harvest organs. He was an agreed-upon organ donor, but once they were able to determine that he would not be able to recover, then the life support was removed.
Police now have a homicide on their hands. They continue to scour the streets of Baltimore and scroll through surveillance footage from nearby businesses, hoping to find a man meeting Carla's description.
She described the individual as a black male, wearing a hoodie, creating all those stereotypes that people unfortunately fall into.
Incredibly, just hours later, a suspect turns up on their doorstep.
The murder was at about 7 or 7:30 in the morning. By that night, the police had been contacted by an individual.
I have information about a shooting.
His name is Tony Fales. He matches Carla's description perfectly, and he's got quite a story to tell. 4 days later, Ray is laid out for public viewing. It's a somber day in Baltimore, but friends find Carla is acting strangely.
once she saw us come in, she was very happy to see us, had a big smile on her face, and she said, "Doesn't he look wonderful?"
They did such a wonderful job on him.
One side of the room was like a frat party or something. Laughing, hugging, talking, reminiscing. Me and my wife went up to her to hug her and say, "Oh my God, we're sorry, you know." The first thing she said was, "Oh yeah, okay." She's like, "I'd like you to meet my family."
Come here for a second.
And they're all sitting there like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Mike, Michelle, this is my family.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Ray's second viewing, held the next evening, feels even more tense, and Carla is nowhere to be found.
Tension. The second viewing, there was a lot more tension. There was a lot more whispers. Something was going on. And my husband looked at me and he said, "Where's Carla? She's not here."
People were calling my house like, "Where is she?" I'm like, "I don't know where she's at. I saw her leave her house."
Then the police show up, and everyone except the immediate family is asked to leave.
Walking out to the car, and my wife says to me, "That was the weirdest viewing I've ever been to in my life."
Things are about to get even weirder. There's a reason Carla isn't present. She's meeting the man who turned himself in the previous day, Tony Fales. And police are listening in.
Look, you sounded really nervous on the phone, but...
That was video recorded inside of a vehicle when they met on a parking lot.
Tony Fales tells Carla that he needs cash.
I'm really worried. I need to leave town. So, can you...
He told her he was concerned that police would focus their attention on him.
Carla tries to reassure him.
I just want to assure you that the guy I was describing didn't look anything like you.
She said that he shouldn't be worried about anything, that the description she gave wasn't like him at all, when in fact it certainly was.
The police lie in wait, ready to swoop in. And it's not Tony Fales they want, it's Carla.
It's almost immediately after that she got arrested.
She was literally pulled over and then taken into custody and taken back to headquarters.
That's when me and my husband and other people started putting two and two together.
Karla Porter is arrested after Baltimore County Police record a conversation between her and the man who matches the description of her husband's killer. In fact, Tony Fales has been working with the police since the day of the murder.
I have information about a shooting. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. So.
Tony had done some work for Ray throughout the years, work on his rental properties.
But he was approached by Karla Porter back in December of 2009. She apparently knew that he had a criminal record, so she decided he would be a likely person that she would be able to successfully solicit to take the life of Ray Porter.
I was wondering if maybe you could help me get rid of him.
No.
She hounded him for over a month after that, constantly calling, either asking if he'd be willing to do it or if he could find somebody else that could kill Ray.
No deal. No deal, Carla. I'm sorry.
He refuses her request and doesn't really believe she's serious until he sees the news.
A Baltimore man was shot this morning. Police are searching for witnesses and have
I think he came forward for two reasons. One, because he liked Ray Porter and didn't like what had happened to him. Second, he was concerned that he was being set up because he is an African-American male.
He was a black guy.
And he was afraid that Karla Porter was going to try to throw blame on him for this murder when he knew he had absolutely nothing to do with it.
When he goes to the police, they believe him and use him to set Karla up.
I just want to assure you that the guy I was describing didn't look anything like you. It was actually a white guy.
The police were nearby at the time that they were recording Karla's interaction with Tony.
Karla is already in custody when the funeral begins.
I get a phone call from one of the guys that works at the shop, and he says, they arrested Karla and charged her with Ray's murder. Yeah, they set her up in between the viewings and a sting, and they got her. They locked her ass up. She's not here.
Well, everybody in the neighborhood knew something was going on over there. That's when all the police and detectives were over there. That's when me and my husband and other people started putting two and two together. And sure enough, that was it. They already had her locked up and didn't tell no one.
I had a text message from the customer who was considering buying Ray's store that Karla was arrested for murder. And I was just like dumbfounded. I was shocked.
I would like to say everything I found out afterwards was a shock. I'm still shocked.
I think in Karla's arrest, we are finally seeing the magnitude of that rift in her character that started to show up all the way back when she was forging things, when she was willing to throw a bank teller under the bus for her own financial mismanagement and fraud, really, with the couple's marital assets.
Everything is now finally starting to add up. And so to me, this is just sort of the culmination of, aha, she has finally done the biggest thing that she could have ever done, which is get rid of her husband for her own gain.
It's really no surprise that multiple people were shocked by what had happened when they found out that Karla had been arrested. We see that all the time with people saying, oh, that serial killer was such a nice person. And I think what it just indicates is how little we really know about each other.
So if Fales didn't pull the trigger, who did? Once it's established that Karla called in the hit, police look closer to home and the people that Ray hated the most, Karla's family.
Karla was assisted by a number of family members.
With Karla in custody, police start to identify the other co-conspirators, one by one.
Her sister, Susan Dada, was the individual who provided to Karla the gun that was used in the murder.
The actual shooter was Walter Bishop, a friend of Karla's nephew.
Karla Porter offered Walter Bishop $9,000 in order to take the life of Ray Porter.
At 3 a.m. that night, Karla uses her cell phone to call their home line.
Hello?
So she woke him up and said,
What?
the alarm's going off at the gas station. We need to get there.
Ray takes the bait.
The plan had been that the killing would be quite early in the morning. That didn't quite work out as originally planned.
But there's a problem. Walter's car won't start. So Carla's brother Calvin picks him up, along with the lookout, Matthew Brown.
The car just broke down, okay?
You've got to be kidding me. You've got to get there today.
Just make it work.
Hours later than planned, this hapless trio makes it to the gas station.
Her brother was who drove the killer to the scene.
Walter lurks nearby and waits.
We had some of the early morning activities at the gas station, so they had to wait for him to come and go.
I'll be right back.
And basically the killer walked up around the side door. She let him in.
Ray turned and looked towards him. That's when Ray Porter realized what was going on.
Carla!
Boom! Shot him. I mean, like, right in the forehead.
And one of the sad ironies to this is he tried to step in between Walter Bishop and Karla Porter in order to try to protect her from an individual he thought was actually robbing them.
Faced with overwhelming evidence, the conspirators cave one by one.
The police did a phenomenal job of basically swooping down on everybody that they knew of at the time and placing them into custody.
We had confessions from all of the co-defendants, and that's something that when you're dealing with that number of people is awfully surprising.
Life sentences are doled out to hitman Walter Bishop, sister Susan Datta, nephew Seamus Coyle, brother Calvin Mowers, and lookout Matthew Philip Brown. Now it's Carla's turn, and her defense is simple.
That she had to do this in order to protect her own life.
When Carla stands trial in 2013, she claims she was defending herself from an abusive husband.
As soon as Carla made the claim that she had been the victim of domestic violence, as a prosecutor, you're concerned about how a jury's going to take that. Because jurors recognize that domestic violence happens behind closed doors and that there are very seldom witnesses to it.
Carla's stories of abuse are lurid and unbelievable.
She came up with the most offensive things that she could even think of. It was like she had watched a bad Lifetime movie.
You're a liar!
A number of occasions in which she alleges that she was physically and seriously abused, which would give you the impression that Ray Porter was the most evil man on the face of the earth.
It was very interesting to see the way that she spun these stories, because she actually made it sound like there were witnesses to at least parts of the abuse.
And we went and found all of those people and had each one of them tell us and tell the jury that those allegations are just simply not true.
Carla's real motives are clear. She bankrolled her siblings for years and racked up shopping debts buying luxuries and friends.
Carla had a financial motive to want her husband dead. She didn't want to have to divide the marital assets, so she did the easiest thing in her opinion, and something that frankly I think she thought she could get away with.
Okay.
He was getting ready to discover a secret she'd been keeping for a long time, and he wasn't going to be happy about it. She was so far underwater financially that the only way to get out of it would have been to kill him.
I can't believe somebody can be so nice to you and then turn around and get rid of her spouse. That did me in.
Why do I think she did it? Because she's a cold-hearted
So cold-hearted that Carla had originally intended to kill her husband herself.
She had solicited somebody to try to get cyanide.
And friends speculate that poison may have caused his sudden illness and those dizzy spells.
When I did find out the truth, then it all started coming together. The cookies at the car show, riding down the wrong side of the road. I think a lot of his mood swings were from the things that she was giving him to make him go off the deep end.
Carla's reaction to all that was like, he must be losing his mind or something. You know, he was losing his mind, all right. She was helping him along that way. And it all comes back to the cookies.
For Carla and her siblings, there was one more potential perk to killing off Ray.
Susan's husband was sick, and Susan ended up asking Ray's family, when she found out that he was an organ donor, wouldn't it be great if Ray could give a kidney to my husband?
It turns out that they were not a compatible match, so the organ could not be donated for the use of Susan Dada's husband.
Ray had concerns about Carla's family all along, going all the way back to the beginning. And look, he was right. It appears that the apple didn't fall very far from the tree in Carla's case.
It is very clear to me that Carla was the boss. Carla was in charge. And it was all in a very passive-aggressive, underhanded, narcissistic way. Ray was kind of this oblivious husband who was handing over everything to his wife to take care of. At the point that Ray finally decides that he's going to take charge, he's going to sell the gas station, they're going to move to Florida, is when suddenly Carla decides that she has no use for him anymore and she needs to get rid of him.
In 2013, Karla Porter is convicted of first-degree murder.
She got life without parole plus 40 years.
With Ray gone and Karla behind bars, their son Kyle moves out on his own, and daughter Megan goes to stay with relatives. Ray Porter is fondly remembered as a kind and gentle man who would never lift a finger against someone he loved.
I'm just sorry all of this happened, and Ray was a wonderful person to be a friend to.
It was a shock. It was a shock. Ray was a great guy. He was.
I still have the truck that he was going to build. And I'm going to finish it just the way he wanted it. And when I take it to the shows and it blows people away, I'm going to say, yeah, this is what Ray would have built.